running, never bothered about what could be coming. Every day we danced and life was smiling. We were young and drunk in love.
Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Thank you guys so much for stopping by. I know it has been a while since I have done a pregnancy update, and so this week's video is going to be a combination of the last 4 weeks. So I am currently 31 weeks pregnant, but I'm going to be talking about everything that happened from weeks 27, 28, 29, and 30. So you guys are going to get whole 4 weeks of updates all in one video here today. So week 27 wasn't too far off from what had been going on in my last update video of 26, weeks 25 and 26. I did get quite a bit of acid reflux during week 27, which was not ideal. So I was like eating a lot of Tums that week, and I had to kind of sit up in bed a little while before I would go to sleep, and I had to stop eating a little earlier in the night, stuff like that. But honestly, it didn't last very long. It was only during that 1 week, and then it ended up clearing up. So luckily for me, I did not end up having that like heartburn and acid reflux, kind of like that burning sensation in your throat. I didn't end up having that for longer than that 1 week during week 27. Another thing that went a little bit differently in week 27 was my emotions just really kicked it into overgear. So I have just been on this crazy emotional roller coaster. It has been really tough, and it's been tough for me, but it's also been tough on Ryan because, you know, he's sitting here dealing with all this stuff that I'm throwing at him, and he's been doing an amazing job, honestly. Like, I'm so lucky that I have such a supportive partner and that he like takes on so much extra responsibility. He'll come home from work and just take on everything that I ask him to do. So I'm really lucky that I have him, but I definitely throw a lot of crazy woman emotions at him during like my hormonal stages of pregnancy. And so definitely during week 27, that was happening a lot. During week 28, I had my 28-week checkup for Miles and Mackenzie. I got to hear their heartbeats. I got to, like, I had my cervix checked to make sure that everything was still, you know, high and everything like that. And they actually did a growth scan for the babies during week 28 as well. So Miles's heart rate was around 134. And his weight was estimated to be about 2 pounds and 9 ounces. He is still head down, which is great. We want him to stay head down. And we discovered that he has hair. So it was really cool. I will insert the photo right here so that you guys can see it. And hopefully you guys can kind of see where the hair is. It's just this sort of white fuzziness on the side of his head in the sonogram, but it was really cool to know that he has hair. Chloe was born with hair, so it's pretty exciting to know that Miles has hair too. Mackenzie was 125 heart rate, and she was weighing in at 2 pounds 6 ounces, so right behind her brother. And she is currently butt down in this one, and she was, they said she was about 6% discordant to her brother. So just meaning that she's a little bit smaller than him, but they're not really worried about the size difference unless it gets to like 20% or higher. So she said that right in the sweet spot. So we're in a good spot right now. So 28 weeks was a really great week because I got to go to the doctor, I got to see them, and I got some pictures, got to know their heart rates and all of that. So it was really a pretty good appointment for me overall. They started scheduling my appointments every 2 weeks at that point. So my next appointment wasn't scheduled until 30 weeks. However, week 29 was a really tough week for me, and I ended up having some pains that I was concerned about. And so I did end up having to go into the doctor one extra time during week 29. So I'll go over kind of the different things that I was feeling during week 29 and what made me kind of get to the point of needing to go in. So I first was getting really, really bad Charlie horses. I had taken a long walk with Chloe at a local forest preserve, and because we were enjoying ourselves so much, I probably pushed myself a little bit too far, walked a little bit too far, and then I had to turn around and come back. And that night, my leg cramped up so bad in the middle of the night that normally when I get a Charlie horse, I bend my foot back towards my leg and stretch it out so that it pulls that muscle under here. I couldn't even move it. My whole leg was like completely stiff. There was nothing I could do to move it. I literally like smacked Ryan from across the bed, and he woke up and I was like, just rub my leg. And then he tried rubbing it and I like smacked him again, and I was like, stop rubbing my leg, because it hurt so bad. It turns out that the strain of that Charlie horse caused me to damage the muscle a little bit in my right leg. And so for over a week, I was limping and literally hobbling around the house because I couldn't put any pressure on my right calf at all. It was really, really terrible. So luckily it did go away, but that was one of the things that started to bother me, because then I started having some swelling in my legs, and I was a little bit concerned about that. But it turned out to be nothing. I also started getting really bad lightning crotch. For those of you who don't know what lightning crotch is, it's literally sharp shooting pains in your cervix and pelvis area. And it was pretty painful. And then I have continued to have that pain. So I'm still getting lightning crotch now. But I also was getting something accompanying that, which was more like, almost like punches to my cervix, which were also sharp pain, but not quite that shooting pain of lightning crotch. And it was so painful. It kept me up all night. I got maybe 2 hours of sleep when I went to bed, woke up, had this horrible shooting pain. My leg was still all cramped up from, the Charlie horse that I had had a few nights prior to that. And it was so bad. So in the morning I called the doctor and I said, okay, talk to a nurse. I spoke to a nurse and I explained to her what was going on. And she was like, you have twins. We're not taking any chances. Please come in, and we just want to check your cervix. We want to make sure that your swelling in your leg isn't signs of preeclampsia or anything like that. So I ended up going into the doctor that day. Ryan had to stay home from work to watch Chloe. And I went into the doctor that day and got everything checked out, and they said honestly everything seemed completely normal. They checked on the heartbeats of the babies. They were both in the 140s, and the cervix was still high. The only problem, well, she said it wasn't a problem, but the only thing that she found was that my cervix is soft. So it has already softened, but it was still high and still closed. So they weren't concerned about preterm labor at this point. And she said the swelling in my legs was probably just, because of what's going on with the Charlie horse, and that the pain in my leg was gonna, subside in about a week or so, and the swelling should go down at that point. And it did. So everything turned out to be okay, but it was just, one of those things you just don't want to take a risk. In a twin pregnancy especially, you're already high risk, and it's like, why sit at home trying to be like, oh, I'm not going to go into the doctor because it's probably something dumb. And then if I didn't go in, what if it was something serious? It's just not worth it for my babies for me to sit at home and say, I'm just not going to go in. So I will always go in, especially if I call them and I'm like, hey, here's my symptoms. I don't really know what the right plan of action is. And they're like, yep, come in. So if they say that, I'm coming in. So that's basically what happened during week 29. During week 30, my energy levels plummeted. Week 30, things started to get really, really hard. So my energy levels plummeted. I started getting way worse pelvic pain and really, really bad hip pain. And that hip pain has just kept up. And it started getting really hard to do things. Bending over, crouching down, sitting on the ground. Chloe always wants me to sit on the ground and play games with her. And it's really hard for me to say no because she is, you know, my little 2-year-old daughter and she just wants to play. And so it's definitely getting to a point where it's really hard for me to be able to do that with her. And she doesn't really understand, you know, she doesn't understand that she can't roughhouse with me and that I can't get on the floor and play with her the way that she wants me to. And it's definitely frustrating for her. I can tell that. So that's definitely a work in progress. We're trying to figure out how to balance what my body is telling me and the ability to still, you know, partake in activities with my daughter. So that's been a little bit tough. If you've been in that boat before, let me know in the comments below, like, how did you handle having a toddler at home while you were pregnant, especially if you were pregnant with twins, and how did you make them understand really what was going on? Because she knows that I have babies in my belly, you know, but I don't think she actually knows. Like, she calls it a baby belly and says it's her brother and sister, but I don't think she really gets it. It's really hard to conceptualize that at that age. So if you guys have any hints or tips for me, please let me know in the comments, because I think that would be really, really great. If something worked for you, maybe it'll work for us too. One of the really exciting things that happened during week 30 was I had my maternity shoot. So my maternity shoot was really, really awesome. It went so well. I have a video of it. I will link it down below so you guys can see the behind the scenes of our maternity shoot. And I'll go ahead and just rotate a couple of our photos we got back from our sneak peek because I'm so excited about them. They turned out so amazing, better than I ever could have expected. And if you click on my maternity video, all of my photographer's information is on there. And so you should be able to click on that if you're interested and you're in the Chicagoland area and you want a photographer. Just go to that video, find her information in the description box, and she was amazing. She was great. It was really a wonderful experience. So I definitely recommend her. Another thing that happened during week 30, at the beginning of week 30 actually, was we had our baby shower. So we ended up doing a virtual baby shower. My sister threw it for us, kind of a twinkle, sprinkle. It was really, really cute. She did, like, the invitations were themed. I'll put sort of a picture of the graphic here, but the invitations were themed to Luke and Leia from Star Wars, and it was just really cute. And we had our computer set up. We had, you know, the presents got shipped ahead of time, and so we just opened everything on camera, got to spend a little bit of time with people. My sister did like virtual giveaways for some prizes and stuff, and it was cool because people who didn't get to attend like my first baby shower with Chloe that live far out of town were able to attend this one, and it was really kind of cool because we don't get to see those people very frequently at all. So while it was a bummer to not be able to do it in person, I actually really enjoyed it a lot. And I will be having a video shortly on my channel, so keep an eye out over the next couple weeks because it'll be up soon, all about how to plan a virtual shower and, you know, what it took, what we ended up doing, tips and tricks and all that kind of stuff. So I will be doing that, and I will get all the information from my sister as well on what she ended up doing on her end of things. And overall, it was a really great experience. So yeah, that kind of wraps up all 4 weeks. So week 27, 28, 29, and 30. Overall, there were some really great things, and then there were some really tough things. So we had a lot of positives, and I'm so excited to, you know, be able to have had a maternity shoot because, you know, when you're in a twin pregnancy and you're kind of concerned about whether or not you're going to make it full term with your pregnancy, planning something like a maternity shoot can kind of be hit or miss, because I know a lot of people who've ended up missing their maternity shoots because they went into early labor. And so I was really, really happy that we made it there. We got some amazing pictures and stuff like that. I was also so grateful that my sister threw this beautiful shower for me and that our friends and family, you know, decided to help us out because, you know, it's not always very typical to have a second baby shower, but with us having 2 babies on the way, it was really kind of scary to look at having to buy doubles of everything. You know, we thought we already had everything that we needed with Chloe, and then suddenly we needed one more of everything. And so that was a little bit intimidating for us. And with the help of our family and friends, I mean, everyone has been so incredibly generous, and we were really, really blessed. And I mean, I can't say thank you enough to those of you who might be watching, who did send us something, because it's definitely a huge weight off of our shoulders to know that we had this extra support from our family and friends. So thank you guys so much. Otherwise, yeah, we had a pretty good last 4 weeks, and week 31, which I'm in right now, has been an interesting one. So you guys will see all about that in our upcoming video. But to be totally real with you guys here, I am actually wearing a maternity belt right now. So I'll show you. This little guy has had to be on most of the day for the past week or so. No, actually longer than that. During week 30 is when I really started putting it back on again, because I had worn it until maybe week 26 or something like that, on and off whenever I was having a bad day, and then it really wasn't helping that much anymore. So I took it off and stopped wearing it, but I just realized I really needed to get some kind of support. So for now, I am wearing this, but something is coming in the mail, which I'm really excited about. So I'm just waiting for it to get here, which is supposed to be a product that helps specifically with SPD and pelvic pains, which are the things that I suffer from the most as far as pain goes, during both of my pregnancies, actually. So once that product comes in, I am going to do a full review. I'm gonna wear it for a week. I'm gonna do a full review for you guys and let you know what I think about it, my thoughts and everything like that. And I will do that video and have that ready for you guys. So just in case you're experiencing that kind of pain, or just you have SPD, or you know someone who's going through this, then you guys will know about a potentially great product. So I'm really excited about that. A few other products besides my belly band, which I will link my belly band below as well. But we got sent, if you follow me on Instagram, you already saw this. If you don't follow me on Instagram, you should go over there, because I update stuff on there on my stories, and you just see a lot more about my life on there on the daily. So you definitely should. I will put my Instagram right here on the screen for you. But if you don't follow me on Instagram, then you didn't get a chance to see this. I was sent by a company called SpringBud a fetal Doppler. And this is like ultrasound gel, and then this is the little Doppler. And we tried it out, and it is so cool being able to sit at home and hear the baby heartbeats, and like we can tell the difference because Mackenzie's up higher, so her heartbeat is usually somewhere around my belly button area, and then Miles's heartbeat is like down on the right hand side. At least that's where it's been the last couple times we've tried. It's just really freaking cool. It's really cool to be able to see that, to hear that. The number flashes up on the screen. You can see the little heart like image, bleeping with how the heartbeat is going and everything. And it just gave me so much like reassurance. So if you guys don't have a fetal heart rate Doppler and you are a nervous, anxious mom like me, I definitely recommend getting one. If you guys want to get the same one I have, I will put a code for it down in the description box that will give you 20% off of this specific brand. But honestly, if you need that reassurance, this is going to be a good product for you. And I'm not even sponsored by them. They did send me the product, but they didn't ask me to do anything in YouTube about it. But I just wanted to talk to you guys about it anyway, because I just think it's really amazing, and I just want to share all of that knowledge and information with you guys, because who needs to be sponsored to share good information with people? Okay, so I was looking at a few of my apps to try and figure out like baby sizes and stuff like that to tell you. And to be completely honest with you, I think that the fruit and vegetable comparisons get a little bit wonky at this part of the pregnancy, because it'll say something like at 27 weeks, the babies were the size of cabbage. And then at 30 weeks, they were the size of a coconut, which to me like doesn't seem that much different in size, and yet they've put on a lot of pounds. They are probably, we'll find out later this week, but they're probably closer to 3.5 pounds right now, or maybe even 4. So going from 2.5 pounds to closer to 4 pounds is a lot of weight gain. And so I don't really necessarily love the comparisons that my apps are giving me right now for what the baby size is like. But I do know that they're approximately 17 inches long at this point. So their length has grown and is almost to like the length that they'll be when they're born. They could go up another 2-4, inches, but they're getting closer to the length. At this point, it's just a lot of fat that they're putting on and weight that they're putting on. And so maybe that's why the comparisons aren't that different. But they are getting bigger still every single week. Per the usual, I'm going to put up over here the image from my Pregnancy Plus app of how big the baby is in comparison to my phone. I should say babies, but it only shows one on the screen. And at this point, it's getting kind of crazy because hardly any of them fits on the screen anymore, whether it's just like a little bit of their face or something like that. So that's pretty cool. It's kind of nice to get that like live looking baby, so that you can kind of picture it a little bit more. Being able to kind of start to imagine what the babies are gonna look like is something that I've been doing a lot lately. So now that I know that Miles has hair, like, is his hair gonna be blonde? Is it gonna be brown? Ryan and his entire family were bleach blonde, bright blue-eyed babies. So it's very possible that we could have that. I have, one of my sisters was blonde with blue eyes. The other one was in her youth, was blonde with green eyes. And myself and my 3 brothers were all born with dark brown hair and dark brown eyes. And Chloe was born with dark brown hair, dark brown eyes. Her hair has lightened up a little bit to a lighter brown, but her eyes are still like a darker brown. So I get curious, it's possible, knowing that I have, the potential to have blue-eyed or brown-eyed babies because of my husband's genes and then my siblings' genes. I know that there's a possibility that they could be blue, green, hazel, brown. Their hair could be blonde, it could be brown, it could be anything. And so it's really kind of fun to imagine all of the different possibilities, just based on the genes that our kids have. So something that I'm really excited to find out when they're born. I'm excited for everything. I'm excited to hold them and snuggle them, and I'm excited for Chloe to meet them. And it's something that I'm a little nervous about too. Obviously, I think everyone's always nervous when they bring a new baby or babies home to their toddler. How are they going to react and all of that? So while I'm super, super excited for everything that's going to be coming up in the next almost six weeks, yeah, like a little over 6 weeks. Oh, it's getting close, guys. I'm very excited, but I'm also a little nervous. So at some point within the next 6 weeks and a couple days, we will have 3 kids, 2 brand new babies. So things are getting down to the wire and getting really, really exciting. Please, if you are not already subscribed, make sure that you do, because I have some awesome videos coming up, some stuff that you won't want to miss that's hilarious, some stuff that's exciting, some information that's going to be really, really useful. So I have tons of great content coming up. I've been pre-filming some videos so that I'll still have some content available when I do go into labor, since I know that I'm not going to be able to get stuff up right away. But I do plan on doing a labor and delivery vlog. So if you are not subscribed, you have to, because you do not want to miss that. As long as they let me take it, I will take the camera to, if I have to have a C-section, or if I do a natural birth, whatever way things happen, I'm gonna try and take you guys along for as much of it as humanly possible. I think it'll be interesting for you guys to see a COVID birth, you know, during this time when masks may be required. I don't know what the policy is going to be at the time as far as my husband goes, the babies go, visitors, any of that, because it changes all the time. But I want you guys to be able to experience that with us. So make sure that you guys are subscribed. Before I head out of here for the day, I'm going to show you guys my twin baby bump, technically 31 weeks, but we'll call it 30 for this video. And I did want to let you guys know that I got my first 3 stretch marks. Week 30 brought on 3 stretch marks right under my belly. They're the kind of purple colored ones, and they're not super crazy noticeable. And like I said before, I totally expected that I was going to get stretch marks. While everyone hopes that you won't, I knew that at some point I was going to, because growing 2 babies takes a lot out of your body, and it is going to take a lot of room to continue to fit them in here. So you will see me point those couple of stretch marks out to you guys, and that way you guys can see I'm a real mom, just like you. Anyway, without further ado, here's my bump. All right guys, thank you so much for joining. I really truly appreciate it. Make sure that you give this video a thumbs up. Leave me a couple comments down below. Make sure that you hit that red subscribe button. All of those things, any of those things, sharing my video, whatever you can do, really, really helps my channel out a lot. I appreciate every single one of you and all that you do to help support me here on YouTube. I love you all so much. I'll see you in the next one. Bye, babes.